KiCad 6 PCB Editor Overview of the new version. Hello friends. I have already posted 2 videos about what's new in KiCad 6 compared to previous versions. In the first, I showed the new project manager, in the second, the schematic editor. Now in this video there will be a final review, in which we will test the new PCB editor. Looking ahead, I will say that it is here that there will be the most new discoveries and cardinal changes for the better. You can already subscribe to the channel, like this video and share the link with your friends. In the project editor, I open the demo project and launch the PCB editor. In this project, the finished PCB has 4 layers. Let's start with the left toolbar. The Disable Design Rule checking button is missing here. I have never used this button and will not miss it. The Show Rat's Nest with Curved Lines button appeared. To show how this works, I'll go to the Edit, Global Deletions menu. Select Tracks and Vias and click OK. In this case, all tracks on the PCB are deleted and we will see the connections, which are shown as white lines. When the new button is pressed, the links are displayed in curved, more readable lines. Another essential, there was a button Show Microwave Toolbar. Now these tools have been moved to the Top Place tab. And the High Contrast Display Mode button, which dims the colors of inactive layers, is now called Toggle Inactive Layers between Normal and Dimmed. Now let's move on to the right toolbar. A lot has changed in the Appearance window. In the Layers tab, only the design of the elements has changed. But in the Objects tab, you can now smoothly fade the visibility of some objects on the board. The Nets tab has also appeared here to work with the visibility of each electrical circuit, with circuit classes and with the circuit inspector. There is also a choice of net display options. Write in the comments, will the Nets tab be useful to you? In the Appearance window at the bottom we also see new tools. The Presets drop-down list allows you to highlight the necessary layers on the board or simply the details of one of the sides of the board. It's really convenient. The Selection Filter tool allows you to remove the board elements listed here from the selection. For example, if you uncheck the Zones checkbox, then the zones will stop responding to our attempts to select them with the mouse cursor. If you uncheck the text box, then the texts on the board will no longer interfere with us to select adjacent seats. So let's take note of this tool. This is very handy when working with tightly piled printed circuit boards. A couple of items have been added to the rightmost toolbar. These are root differential pairs, tune length of a single track and a rectangle draw button. The Highlight Net button and Set the Origin Point for the grid have also been removed. I have not used these buttons. So far, all the changes are for the better. Now let's go to the top toolbar. Here, the Scale by Components has been added. Tools for working with a selected fragment of the board have also been added. There are buttons for flipping to a right angle. There are also 4 buttons for grouping and blocking the selected fragment. Nothing else on the top buttons has changed. I don't like that the Show the Design Rules Checker window button now has a new icon. I liked the ladybug icon better. In the upper tabs, I found changes only in the File, Edit and Inspect tabs. The Revert to Last Backup and Archive Footprints buttons have disappeared from the File tab. In the Import button, I finally found Netlist, which I talked about a lot in the previous video. And I think it's important to know. Open the Import Netlist window. Here you can open the netlist generated in the schematic editor. To generate it, the schematic editor has a corresponding button in the File, Export, Netlist tab. Using this mechanism, you can manually transfer all information from the schematic to the board editor file. Most often, we do not need a manual mechanism, since an automatic mechanism works, but in some cases it will not be superfluous to know an alternative path. The Paste Special button has been added to the Edit tab. Navigation buttons for error markers have been added to the Inspect tab. The Constraints Resolution button will show a description of the constraints for a single selected footprint. That is, it will display a report: does the seat interfere with neighbors? Now let's look at the work on the board itself. I right-click on the component. We see two new items: the Paste Special button, Drag, 45-degree mode, and Grouping. From the previous video, we already know that now in KiCad 6 the copy-paste function has begun to work completely correctly. And the Paste Special button allows you to choose how elements will be marked after pasting. I select several components and click with the right mouse button. Now I choose Grouping, Group. That's it, these components are grouped, and they can be moved on the board as a whole, and even together with the tracks. What unpleasantly surprised me in KiCad 6 was the inability to quickly delete a track along its entire length. In previous versions, I hovered over a track, pressed the Del key, and the entire track was deleted. In KiCad 6, to delete an entire track, you must first select it. To select, click on one of the sections of the track and press the U key. The track is completely selected, and now I press the Del key to delete it. Let's get acquainted with another cool feature, for which we select the standalone component and right-click. In the menu I select Drag, 45-degree mode. We got the ability to move the footprint with attached tracks. True, the component itself should not interfere with other neighbors. Although, maybe this can be corrected in the design rules settings. For today, these are all the novelties that I wanted to show. Of all the applications, PCB Editor has been the most improved in the latest version of KiCad 6. We've seen a lot of cool new tools. And I can't wait to design something new. Write in the comments about what I have not yet said that I missed. Subscribe now to my channel and share the video link with your friends. And see you again.